Victor Wembanyama got tangled up with Drew Holiday, and then he hit the floor, and he hit the floor hard. Wemby played just 12 minutes before he was placed in concussion protocol, ruled out for the remainder of the game. The Trailblazers then overcame a 14-point hole in the fourth. They relied on Scoot Henderson, who had 31 points himself. Blazers won the game 106-103. They even the series at 1 apiece. As for Wemby now and the protocol and what he needs to overcome, a player cannot return to full participation without restrictions for at least 48 hours after the time of injury. So that would be tomorrow night. And then until he completes the required return to participation process. So there's some benchmarks that he's going to have to meet. He can partially return after 24 hours. That would be tonight with an evaluation under the direction of a team physician. The good news, I guess, for the Spurs is they do have 2 days off before they have to play Game 3. That'll be in Portland. So Friday night, and then they have a quick turnaround with Sunday. Can the Spurs stay alive, though, now without Victor Wembanyama?
Well, I think they're still going to win the series. I don't know if you're going to see Wembanyama in Portland. It'd be very interesting. I don't think he's going to play Friday.
Right.
So that means does he fly all the way out there to play the Sunday game at 12:30 local time? I'm not sure. Now, again, if you lose both, you're down 3-1, then you're going to have to play a little Russian roulette 3 games in a row. Here's the thing I'd be a little worried about the Spurs. They got a 14-point lead. Was it 14 or 13? 14-point lead in the fourth quarter against Portland, who can't shoot against Portland. Win the game, okay? Win the game. I understand he's a great player and he's out, and I understand. Win the game. Don't put yourself in this situation. These are the Trailblazers who won 42 games. You got to put that game away, and you're building up by 14 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's not as bad as the Knicks, who obviously had everybody playing, or the Celtics, who got close and lost. But that was a very alarming thing, that they couldn't figure out a way to get enough baskets to hold Portland off, even without their best player. That would concern me. Mm-hmm. But I do think you'll see Wembanyama. I don't know if you. I think the key to me would be Game 4. I'd be shocked if he plays Friday night. Same here. Game 4 is the key. Now, listen, Portland's going to be good at home on Friday night. They're probably going to lose that game. Portland's going to be good at home. So that means if he don't play Sunday, you're 2-1 down. You might be playing for your life on Sunday afternoon, because even with Wembanyama coming back down 3-1, you're going to win 3 in a row, one of those on the road. That's not that easy.
The average number of days missed is 9 with a concussion.
That's the good job.
Average number of days missed. Now, I'm looking at it, too. I'm thinking, okay, there's no way Friday night. If you're the Spurs, you're saying to him no, even if he wants. By the way, you know about flying in pain because you just did it. No. We don't know if he can fly. We don't know if he even will be cleared to fly. This is not like this series in San Antonio, Dallas, and you put him in a car and drive him. This is not that. So you look at the average number of days. Can they put him on the floor Sunday? But here's been my concern about San Antonio, and we talked about this yesterday on a number of shows. And I don't think San Antonio can win this year. I think they're going to win multiple championships. I think Wembanyama's going to win multiple MVPs. He's going to be the face and the energy of this league and of worldwide basketball for a long time. But it doesn't mean you're ready to do that without great disappointment first. The history of this league is you get your feelings crushed as a team. Russell, Magic, Tim Duncan, they're the only exceptions. Everybody else, including Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe with air balls against each other, they all get not just disappointment, but the disappointment that leaves them wanting to be in bed, covers pulled up until August. That's what San Antonio hasn't encountered yet. That game last night, Chris, they didn't know enough. They didn't know how to finish the game. Of course they wanted to. They're missing their best player. They're missing their leader. They did enough to get there, and they didn't know how to close. Mm-hmm. That game can haunt them because, as you mentioned, if you go now, you can't drop that second game in Portland and come back 3-1. We've seen most teams can't come back from that. So I think they're in a little more trouble depending on Wembanyama and whether he can get back, what they're willing to risk, Stephen A. It's a big risk to put him out there in concussion protocol. He was knocked out. When he was on the floor,
that was clear.
He looked like he'd been hit by Mike Tyson in 1989. Shane, go back. I just did that to annoy you.
Go back. Unless of course you're talking about Bruce Seldon, who got knocked out and never got hit. I mean, Tyson woofed by him.
We
and he
were
went
at too
down
many of those
and stayed down and then got up and hugged him at the count.
You think he's coming back Sunday?
No, not Sunday. Yes, I don't think that I agree with both of you. I don't think Wemby will be back Friday. I think because I think it will raise too many suspicions on the part of
Good
the
point.
NBA and others. They're not going to let that happen. He can't come back Friday, not after what we saw last night. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't have San Antonio losing this series. I have them winning this series. I believe in De'Aaron Fox. I believe in Stephon Castle. I believe in Vassell. I believe in Barnes and these brothers. I mean, they can play now. These are not scrubs. It's just that you got somebody like Wemby that you can rely upon, so you do so. But they're capable of winning a game against Portland, who, by the way, entered these playoffs of the 16 teams as the most least offensive efficient team of the 16 teams. They had the least potent offense. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That's what happened, okay? Here's what I want to say about Portland, though. I love what I'm seeing. I'm going to be the first to say this. I love me some Scooter Henderson. He had 31 points last night. Shot about 65% from the field. I think hit like 5 or 9 3-pointers. Hit a couple in the first quarter. Hit one with about 2:43 left to pull them within one and really stymie their momentum. Remember, they neutralized San Antonio's offense late in the game. I forgot what it was that they held them to, but they was really struggling. And their top 3 scorers in San Antonio and Castle, Vassell, and Fox combined to shoot 36.5% shooting. Watching this game like Vassell. I know I said Vassell. Vassell.
Because it rhymes.
Why, that's right. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I said it like that. I said it because it rhymes, but that's me. Bottom line is this. They only shot 36.5%. We get that. This kid, Scooter Henderson, listen, I interviewed the kid on when he was drafted on draft night doing the NBA on ABC, and it was like, listen, he came up there. He has a bunch of sisters, if I remember correctly. And he was like, please, I ain't holding myself accountable. They're going to be holding me accountable. Everything. Like, they own him. You got to do what you got to do. And I watched this kid in these first 2 games. The aggression, his state, got a tough body, doesn't mind getting to the hole, got quickness, got a good handle. You understand? Got capable of making outside shots. I'm fantasizing about him, fellas, because you know me, Dame time is going to be back next year. You understand? And I'm imagining Dame time, Dame Dollar, Damian Lillard with that kid in the backcourt. Portland is a team to, and I mean, when you see him and what he could bring, how Chicago ever let that get away makes no sense.
And Washington.
And Washington.
They had him, had him playing.
Listen, we all know that.
Yes, the Bulls
we all know that
draft
things
night.
We're never surprised when things don't work officially in Washington. But we're talking about Chicago. It's not supposed to be that way there either. But you're looking at, obviously, along with those two, Portland in the future is going to be very interesting. I think they win Friday night. They go up 2-1. It forces Wemby to come back for Sunday's game because San Antonio's season will be on the line. And as a result, San Antonio goes back and ties the series 2-2 after the weekend. That is what I foreshadow.
I think the question is this. If San Antonio's cautious and all eyes are going to be on him, guys made a good point. He can't play Friday night. The NBA is going to go crazy. Yes, if they sit there and say, you know what, we got to sacrifice these 2 games and let him play next week, could, with Wembanyama healthy, could they win 3 in a row?
I don't think so.
Trailblazers as a young team with that kind of pressure? I think that's the question of the series.
That's what we're looking at.
And that's to me, here's my only thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I think, not talent-wise, I think San Antonio's too young, even though De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes, it doesn't apply to the 2 of them. I think they're too young. Mitch Johnson, who I think has done a great job and was a top 3 coach of the year candidate, I think they're too young to overcome the 3-1. I think you have Wendy come back Sunday. You don't go back to San Antonio down 3-1.
So you don't think they can win 3 in a row?
And also remember this: for all of his gifts, he's real thin. And because of that, who's to say another injury can't happen to him? Who's to say that you can't, if he can give you
every sentence
anything,
starts with "if healthy."
That's right.
And this was a freak thing. This is even more freak than a collapsed lung.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but asking them to come back from 3-1, I tell you what, if they can come back from 3-1 down, and we're presuming a lot,
right,
that really would set them up in terms of energy and spirit and development. There's growth in the playoffs every series from teams like Orlando, if they stop screwing around like they did the entire regular season, from Portland. Denny Avdia.
Oh.
This kid, because he's playing in Portland, no one noticed him all season. All right, he's come up here and put up 2 big performances.
And he's an all-star.
When his team had to, and he's an all-star already.
Scoot,
amazing.
too. Scoot was in the same draft as Victor Wembanyama. I feel like we haven't said his name since he was in that draft.
Let me say to America, we're going to talk about Scooter Henderson. Scooter Henderson, for years to come, we're going to be, I'm going to make sure we talking about him on this show. I love that kid. I love him.
The
I love him.